As the saying goes, music is the strongest form of magic, and what better way to kick off version 6.0 with the first new character, Harmopheus, the violin-playing, season-changing, red-haired beauty of a Volt main in Tower of Fantasy. Wait, is her name derived from the word harmonica? Harmopheus?
But she plays a violin.
So, with Harmopheus leading the way as we arrive in Lockheart, how strong is Volt and what does she do? Let us find out. Harmopheus is a Volt Frost DPS with the traits of Volt Frost Fusion, Volt Frost Resonance, the ability to force impact, and the same old 16 Shatter 14 Charge, the industry standard for all characters. Harmopheus is a main DPS that complements the previous Volt unit Veronica in a dual DPS combination with Lana acting as the supplementary damage dealer behind the scenes. She also has an unprecedented, unique ability that alters the surroundings according to her skill, which we will get into later, and for her combo it is following the latest design of utilizing her Discharge, don't cancel it, into using her skill for a total of 4 times in rapid succession. Then, holding down the attack button to accumulate energy, and finally using her sub-skill to release her finisher in all its glory. Might sound a little confusing, but it's pretty simple. Discharge, then use her skill 4 times, long hold attack to generate concerto, while spamming the skill button, and Harmopheus will use her sub-skill finisher once it's available. Easy. Now, let's look at the skill descriptions. Harmopheus, upon using her main skill, will alter the surroundings with animations that resemble the 4 seasons. That's why it's called seasons, right? Her skill deals big AoE damage to nearby targets, but apparently does not give any hyperbody nor force impact, which is kind of weird as typically the latest main DPS units have that ability, but oh well. Also, you're able to cast the skill 4 times and stack 4 layers of special energy. You'll notice there's a musical note around her for every layer you have cast. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, you should see 4 notes hovering around her just in case you forgot how many times you've done it. Mostly, your muscle memory will cover it for ya. But yeah. After the 4th change, you then hold attack to accumulate the special energy until 100 stacks. And even though there's this sub-skill icon that's hidden behind the big-ass snowflake, you can't use it without doing normal attack holds. What's even worse is, there's still no indicator for the 100 concerto stacks. So you gotta just hold attack and spam the skill button. Once it's available, she'll do her finisher that looks like a pulsing sound wave, which supposedly deals huge damage to the target, so be sure to finish them off, y'all. Oh, and the total damage info can now be hidden. Nice! So again, the requirement for this sub-skill is using her main skill 4 times and also accumulating 100 points of charge energy by holding down the attack button and then using that finisher of hers. It's not that complicated, but similar to Veronica, a test of muscle memory rather than looking at your buffs. Harmopheus doesn't really need to use her normal attack chains even though they look impressive, because the important bit is her hold attack move, in which you stack the 100 concerto counters. As mentioned earlier, you'd use this hold attack move right after you finish with the 4 seasons or 4 taps of skill, then hold while pressing the skill button until her finisher goes off. But man, they really should have added some form of indicator for those stacks. Weird, I know. She also doesn't really have much aerial moves, totally not relevant, so likely you won't use them much. Her dodge attack shoots something outward that looks fancy and all, but similar to the aerial moves, you won't use them anyways, so that's that. Her plunge attack is cute though, transforming into a musical note. I got no words, y'all. Her Discharge is an absolute beast with crazy multipliers, so for her rotation wise, similar to Barry's Discharge, we don't cancel it and let it fully run. There's no special effects tied to it however, but the damage is incredible, so there you go, a big bad boom. What you do need to know is, Harmopheus Discharge has a fixed time of 25 seconds, similar to Barry, in which you can't charge it with other weapons. You don't get any extra charge until the 25 seconds is refreshed and ready to go again. Harmopheus has a crazy movement tech in which holding dodge plus direction keys will let you soar into the air, and boy is she fast. In this soaring move, you can't strafe left or right. Instead, by panning your camera direction, she will move accordingly, including moving upwards. Neat. Pressing dodge will exit the mode. Also, there is a musical interface in which you can use the jump button to perfectly sync the moving cues, and once the energy meter is perfectly full, you can press the special skill button X by default, and she sort of teleports forward in rapid motion. Crazy! She'll then hover on this big musical note of hers until you exit by dodging or landing on the ground. Takes a bit of getting used to, but it's another interesting way of doing traversal when we already have so many options. What's really cool is, entering this mode feels really good to explore, almost as if you're skipping away at high speed. Another world-class movement tech for exploration lovers. Let's have a bit of a demonstration, shall we? Harmopheus trait is tailor-made for Volt. With every Volt weapon equipped, you gain a lot of Volt damage increment, making this trait the best in slot for meta Volt teams. I'm surprised it didn't have anything related to exploration like the other weapons before her, but Volt does seem to always get the good traits. So yeah, as long as Harmopheus is on the team, use her trait. On the relic side, the preferred relic of choice would be the buff dealer at minimum 2 stars, best performance being 5 stars. Second relic would be the battle eye mark II at minimum 2 stars, best performance being 5 stars. Other relics, such as the rifle, mask, bubble gun, are all usable if you don't have the Mark II or buff dealer. F2P players can still go with the Koan 2 stars and Omnium Shield 5 stars in place of those premium relics. Harmopheus Matrices provide a lot of Volt attack and Volt damage for the team. In fact, it's worth the investment to get a base copy of her Matrices. Her 2-piece adds a lot of Volt attack and increases the multipliers of her sub-skill, that sound wave pulsing attack finishing move? Yeah, that one. You also get to freeze enemies for 2.5 seconds with this set, which may come handy if you don't have good sustain on the team. Her 4-piece is the usual Volt damage increment, and when using her Violin on the team, further adds a lot of Volt damage as well. Pretty good for a 4-piece set, but only if you care for her damage and have enough resources to secure them all. Otherwise, getting her 2-piece is also an option, combined with the standard Matrices 2-piece Samir, 2-piece Cobalt B, and also the likes of Yano 2-piece, which is even better once you get them to 3 stars. It's free, by the way. Background Matrices wise, 4-piece Yano is also a very nice option, with 4-piece Brevi and 4-piece Huang an alternative if you don't have other options. Being the latest Volt main, Harmopheus will take her place as one of the main DPS in a team that features Veronica and Lana. If all weapons are of similar investment, you want to inhabit Harmopheus if you do have Nanyin's weapon because she deals massive damage as far as her rotation is concerned. For those that don't have Veronica, you can use Void Piercer or Hipper as a substitute, and likewise for those that don't have Lana, Void Piercer can also stand in as the third option as long as you possess the dual DPS combo. If you're new and lacking the meta weapons, Harmopheus still can work with standard units Brevi and Huang, albeit the damage will suffer due to the lack of buffs from the older units. Do consider getting your altered characters as soon as possible. Looking at the DPS charts, the meta team of Harmopheus, Veronica and Lana will top the tables with other Volt teams lagging behind in comparison. The presence of dual DPS comps are important for Volt, so it's best to pair Harmopheus with Veronica or Hipper at the very least. Altered Harmopheus is somewhat usable, but do know that she does not have Force Impact nor Hyper Body built into her skill as mentioned earlier, so you do need to be careful when building your teams around her. Element on element wise, Harmopheus raises the ceiling for Volt teams approximately 25% over the old Volt comp and about 5% more than Barry's Metaphys team, with Frost and Flame close behind. I mentioned they are trying to normalize all the elements, and with 5% increment in each new element comp, the power creep doesn't seem so obvious now, does it? Harmopheus 1-star boosts final damage buffs and also hastens the charging of a hold attack move. This advancement is important for her rotation due to the double DPS teams having strict timing on their on-field damage potential. Without it, the performance may feel lackluster. 3-star gives you the Volt resistance shred and also a shield when casting her skills. Pretty good for sustain if your team lacks it. 5-star further increases her Volt damage buffs, and using her skill will allow you to continuously recover HP over time. Again, good sustain if you need it. 6-star is the pure DPS advancement with big final damage buffs, a huge multiplier to a main skill, and also slowing down nearby enemies when you trigger your 4th skill layer. Ideal for resident whales and rankers. Recommendations wise, Harmopheus' key advancements are her 0-star and 1-star for exploration and ease of rotation purposes. I'd say her base copy is really good for new players because her movement tech is so fun to play with, and her 1-star does give a very nice DPS boost to the team. While 3-star may be good for shred and sustain, but if you already have other weapons with resistance ignore, you don't really need her 3-star unless you're chasing higher damage advancements. 6-star is the next stopping point, and for Volt mains and all those who are particular about rankings, it's always recommended to max out the weapon and at least get a 4-piece base set of her matrices. We are now in the realm of Lockheart, and my oh my, it is beautiful. With Harmopheus leading the way for Volt and being the first of many characters in the Lockheart region, she does live up to expectations with a unique kit combined with a simple and whimsical gameplay. Not to mention, her movement tech is just out of this world. What do you think of Harmopheus? Is she worthy of your pulls, or are you waiting for the next big thing that comes after her? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.